start shooting the shelf.
Good morning, everyone. It's time for Shooting the Shelf here on Sunday night.
David Williams says Jeremy DeWitt makes the best intros. I agree.
Because
you know what? I have had just not a great day. I've had not a great day, feeling kind of stressed. But I tell you what, I hear that song and it just changes my mood around.
Spoiler alert, I could see you down there bopping along to it.
That
made me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm Jesse Arnold over here on it's 3 weeks in a row.
You're nailing it, man.
I'm gonna be all off next weekend because of what's going on next weekend, and I'll be rushing to get home in time. But over here is the one and only Curtis Ackerman.
Hey, everybody.
Well, hopefully the show tonight will turn the rest of your evening upside down.
I think it's going to end up being more of like a therapy session. You guys are, just going to help me work some stuff out, and that'll be good.
Okay.
So,
all right.
We've got some great guests. We got some prizes tonight. We got lots of fun stuff. But first, let's kind of talk about who's out there in the chat.
Who is out there in the chat, Curtis?
Yeah, thank you. I see Wholesome Warlock. We've got Dave Orkin, Van Johnson, Rob Zamora, JMax77, Purple Gang, G Echevarria. We've got Toy Locos channel. Let's see, Tanya McCoy. Got David Williams, of course. I am TJ Williams, David Smith, Mark Rivera is out there, and Dorclair, very nice. Carver
Santos
Customs,
Rivera.
Kevin M. Boots, Kevin My Boots, The Collector, Kent Pool Collects, Christopher Bell, Santos Rivera, and I think that's everybody right now. So thanks for everybody that joined us live and everybody that watches on replay. Oh, and Stacy Lynn. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Yes, this is, you can. We're not going to do anything about it, David, but if you contact customer service at sourcehorseman.com, I think that's the right one. They'll take care of you.
Smoke them if you got them, and Kevin McCoy as well.
There we go. All right.
Full house.
Yes. Full house. I thought I took that down. There we go. All right. Folks, thank you so much for being here. And like Curtis said, if you're watching on the replay, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show tonight. Let's bring on our guests. We have two of the amazing customizers and painters from Wolf King Customs, the sponsor of our show, and run by our good friend Len, everybody's good friend Len. Let's welcome to the shelf with a round of clap or something for Patrick Boyle and Nathaniel Armstrong. Welcome to the shelf.
What's up, boys?
Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Good.
It's going really good.
Nice.
Shout out to my boy Chris Bell joining. That's amazing. He knows nothing about toys. This is fantastic.
Awesome.
It was pretty cool to hear.
He knows nothing about toys, or he knows a lot about toys. I missed
nothing.
Okay.
He's a musician and and a talented one, and we were roommates out in LA. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mark is asking, where's my bandana? I don't wear bandanas, so I think he might be thinking of Len. But yeah, I don't wear bandanas. So just FYI.
All right.
David Williams says 2 absolute gems in our community. You know what?
Dave.
You're right. Really are. So
thank you.
Beautiful. Well, do we want to hit the shelf?
Patrick and Nate are pretty great too. So
yeah. The guests are awesome. Want to hit those shelf selections, Jesse?
Is Patrick frozen or?
Yeah, I think I am.
I wasn't sure if he was frozen or if he was reaching for a fork. I'm like, I didn't say anything yet.
He's just very stoic.
Yeah. All right. So this week, Curtis opted out of doing shelf selections and let Patrick donate his shelf selections this week. So you're going to be looking at stuff from Patrick and I tonight. So let's roll the shelf selections. First up is one of Patrick's.
You want to talk about this one, Patrick?
Yeah, it's my Neptune Bay guy named Chris. Does a lot of really great photography, mostly Marvel Legends, occasionally some Mythic Legions. But I saw this one this week with the NECA Ninja Turtles there, and I just love the lighting and having the Foot Clan above the turtles. Like it's about ready to be an ambush. It's all going to go down.
I love the shot. That's one of those what do you call it? The extreme sets pop-up dioramas.
Oh, nice.
I have that set. It's really cool. It's got two of those archways. And it's got like the little sewer grate under there. It's really cool. I got it put together, and then like I just have never really done any Turtles photography with it. So it's nice to see someone doing stuff way better than I would have done. And yeah, I looked at this at first and I was like, man, those turtles are really the shot is off. And then I realized the foot soldiers were up at the top, and yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I actually didn't even notice the foot soldiers there at the top at first. So I think that's kind of cool the way that the lighting is, that you kind of have to do a double take before you really notice them. And the only reason I even noticed that they were there is because I'm like, why are the turtles all looking up now? Oh, all right, cool. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I like that.
Whether that was an intentional direction with the way he framed it like, because I looked at the picture, I did the same thing. The turtles are looking up, and yeah, so very clever, very well done. Nice.
Sorry, got a
selection.
Charlotte just brought me some flannel to put on because she said I was the only one not wearing flannel. So
that cardboard photographs pretty well. You would think there would be a lot of glare, but I guess that's the whole point of the set, right?
Yeah, they have a really nice matte finish to them. And they're just, I mean, for cardboard, that's why I got these right before that Rancor thing went up on the Black Series HasLab, and everybody was mad. It comes with cardboard, and I'm like, cardboard's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
All
yeah,
right.
Same comments. Just having them look up, it draws your attention. It's posed well. Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. One of my picks. Ooh. This is from Captain Fired Beer Baker, our buddy Elijah over in the UK. This one was cool because, again, I had to take a double. I knew there was a goblin in this somewhere because Cap loves his goblins. And it took me a moment to really zoom in on it and see him there in that gnarled root or whatever. And again, outside shot, trees all blurring in the background, seeing mythics out in nature. I really, really love seeing that because they look so good in nature. Like they blend in well with their surroundings. So
when I told you earlier, Jesse, that I hadn't done any searching or scrolling, this actually did come up, and I was going to grab it as one of my selections because again, same reasons. I like the practical of the real root, and he is pretty well camouflaged in there. So as a photographer, I might have done something slightly different with that, but also, I mean, that happens in the real world too. You don't always see the goblin before it comes to get you.
Yeah, that's right. I like, feel like, if the heroes are marching like through like a gully or something, and then the camera like pans up and there's Numnik, and then all of a sudden the rest of the goblin troop comes over the side or something.
Yeah, I love the nature shots, but especially something like this where you see this really super unique formation or something to where, I'm sure he was probably walking by this and saw that and was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to, do a shot with. And so it's just, especially when you start like photographing your toys outside, you start looking at things in nature just a little bit differently. And I think this is one of those that it caught his eye while he was out and about, and then he probably brought his toys and came back with it. So
Yeah, it's cool. I saw a video on his YouTube channel. He showed one where he was going out to like a park or some sort of site and doing stuff. So it was cool to see him like going out and doing the setups, and it's cool to see the pictures now coming in from some of those. So very cool. Up next is another one from so make sure you check out Captain Firebeard Baker on Instagram and his YouTube channel. He does some fun stuff over there. You can see some of his acting stuff. Awesome dude. From Patrick.
This was shared on Valentine's Day this week, and just that classic Spider-Man and Mary Jane pose put a smile on my face. My buddy Paul shared that, so I thought I'd share it here too.
It's as soon as I saw this, I'm like, I didn't want to look at it when normally Curtis puts the slides together, but I did them today. So I was like, I don't want to look at these too closely. I just want to get surprised and look at him on the show. And I wasn't sure what he was holding in his hands initially. But yeah, this is a fun shot. I always seeing Spider-Man like inverted or doing fun poses is always cool. And yeah, this is a really cool shot.
yeah, I when I looked at this shot, it's like she's got the candy hearts there, and he pulled the lid off like he's offering one of those candies, and she chose a kiss instead, which that's kind of cool. So yeah, I think this is a pretty neat one.
She's gonna eat that candy though too, Curtis.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Very cool. Awesome one. You said this is your buddy Paul, is Wally 22974 on Instagram. Next one for me. This one just made me
real quick too. Can we all just happy birthday, Cookie?
Happy birthday, Cookie!
Yeah, happy birthday, Cookie!
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you in person and say it again next week.
Yep.
No Fate _figures. There's a whole series of pictures they've got over there, and is Alf wearing the He-Man harness, wielding the power sword, turning his sandwich cat into he's either photoshopped or painted the cat green to look like Cringer. It just cracked me up. It's such a weird hodgepodge. I never would have put hodgepodge. I never would have put these two characters together, but it just cracked me up.
Does
it looks
the
like
NECA Alf come with that?
Because the second picture, it's just regular. But that's freaking cool. I like that a lot.
It's very cool.
No, I'm assuming those are classics pieces.
No, the harness. The harness looks like maybe Origins or something. It's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know there's more pictures where like He-Man comes in, he's wearing like a furry Alf suit and he's holding it like a mascot head and everything, like the joke around. But yeah, I love this one.
I mean, I'd watch that show.
It looks. Yeah, it does look like it's what was it, the Club Grayskull series from it's not the classics, but it's the the one along with it.
Okay.
So.
Yes, folks, despite the comment, we do not support eating cats on Shooting the Shelf, no matter what other channels might tell you. Yeah. Moving on. Next from Patrick, Beyond Enceladus and Cletus.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Beyond Enceladus. I just chose this because it's got my favorite Legion lady, Azah, there with Calazir, and they looked great together. I love the background. Yep.
People have been really psyched to soup her up with the new parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I like seeing it too. Yeah, it's fun. Breathe some new life into our older figures.
Yeah. I've got parts. I got parts from some people I've I don't have her, so I'm going to make my own, but I'm going to do my own take on it. It's not going to be one for one exactly the figure. So this was cool to see this. I like her paired up with Calazir. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not a Shadow Elf guy, but this photo's cool, and that Calazir is definitely the sleeper of this wave. Whether you were excited for that pit figure or you weren't, once you get it in hands, it's definitely better than you expected. Even if you expected it to be amazing, it's better than that. That figure is just so good. And if you didn't order one, get one quick, because I think this one's going to be a sellout pretty fast.
Patrick, you might be able to answer this, and I totally agree with you, Curtis. Although I've only seen Calazir, I don't have him myself, but he will show up eventually. Is that hair from Thrace, or is that from like Evelyn, or sculpted on there? Do you know? Because she doesn't have hair in her hood, right?
No, she doesn't come with hair. That's
Okay.
probably from like a Marvel Legends figure, or like the Dritz figure.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think it's the Thrace hair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I just looked on the Instagram. It doesn't say anything, so I'm not sure.
Cool.
I concur. By the way, that figure is. I thought it was going to be my favorite, and it's right up there. The paint job on it is, leaps and bounds beyond what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be more of a solid blue, and it really just kills in person. It's lovely.
I honestly thought that I wasn't even going to want to put it in my display case. Like, I was like, I just don't need a Jin. I didn't get it. I thought the design was okay, but it didn't blow me away or anything. So he was, out of all the figures in that wave, I would have definitely put him a distant last. And out of the ones that I've opened so far, he's definitely number one.
Wow.
You talk about the I know we've all had those figures that we're more impressed with when we get them in hand. This one is the most from what I was expecting to what I actually got out of any figure that I've ever opened from them. So
I got to go with Joe here. She's not described as a shadow elf, so we don't know. She might be something entirely different.
okay.
Correct. I think she's human, but she's undead.
Kevin Boots is throwing some jabs with shadow elves are 100 times better than shadow orcs. Kevin,
I mean, everybody's entitled to opinion, even the wrong ones. So
and Curtis, I want to say this. This is not a dig. This is all sincerity. I love the fact that at least several times you've been unimpressed with a figure. Not saying it's bad, but unimpressed with it in initial photos and all this stuff. And getting it in hand, you completely flip-flop your opinion on it. So I just think that's really cool that you're open to that. And like I said, I'm not trying to make a joke. That's 100% sincere.
cool.
So yes, next one. I keep going to the wrong slideshow. T-Bellet. I can never remember what the correct way to say that is. Sorry.
Belay.
This is from last week, but it didn't make the cut because I just grabbed shots throughout the week and send the first 4 I can find in my slides or photo reel to Curtis when he's like, hey, where are the shots? So he's got this figure. If you go back and check out this post in a ton of great different poses, I picked this particular shot just because I thought it was cool. He's got, I think that's a Kai Labs soft goods on there. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember what the text said. I just think that's a really cool way to show off the potential incoming that we'll be getting with those knights. And that's not what I said, Anthony. You can take it however you want, but that's not what I said. I mean, it's what I said, but not how I meant it. Yeah. But no, I just think because the in-stock sale's coming up next week and Valentine's going to be part of it. And if you miss out on it, don't worry, because all the new knights that are coming going forward, at least until they make more improvements, are going to be on this buck, and you'll have plenty of chances to get a hold of them for essentially the same price.
Yeah, I mean this is a cool shot. I love the poses that you can get on the Valiant Knight, and I didn't think that I could be more excited for the Templars, the Enoch and Elijah, until I was at Legion's Con. I got that Valiant Knight in hand and realized that they're all going to be able to move like that. So yeah, super excited. And if you don't have one of these, you weren't at Legion's Con, whatever, you definitely need to pick up one during the sale.
Totally agree. And just think of all the cool soft goods that you can get from places like Kai Labs or whoever else is going to put out soft goods that you can put on there to change up the look of your Valiant or other knights if you get, say, 13 Templars and don't want them all to be Templars.
Patrick, I think we're getting some echo when we're talking through. I don't know if your speakers are on as well as your headset, but just FYI, there's a little bit of an echo.
Don't know what's causing it.
Okay. Yeah, it's still there, but all right.
Hey, Len. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be one of your favorite people, Len. You're one of mine.
I don't know what I was going to say now. My brain unbrained.
Well, let's rebrand.
Right. Met Thomas at
more thoughts.
Intern for a day, and he's a solid dude. In addition to taking nice posed photos. That's all I had to say about that.
Patrick, anything you want to add? Okay.
About the soft goods or about the picture up now?
The one that's up now.
No, it's a beautiful custom. I love the head sculpt on here by Skelesauria.
Oh, is that's not the?
I think he
that's not
might
the
be
standard
behind. Yeah.
Oh.
Or am I behind?
Yeah, you might want to.
It should be the
back
night.
out and click the link and come back in.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and put you backstage, but yeah, go ahead and log off there and back on. There you go. Okay, sorry.
Right. We'll move on to the next slide, and we'll do our talking before. Although it is Patrick's slide, but I'll set up. So this is Skelesauria. This is he must have seen this advance and then freeze or something. Head, custom head on the Poxus body, giving him kind of a regal plague look. I think that's a pretty nice work and a really cool head.
It's a very cool head.
Yeah, that's neat. I like the whole dio that he's got there too. I don't know where that's from. It looks like it's some sort of like factory produced product or something. Like it came with another toy line or something. I don't know. And then, yeah, that head looks really good on that. And Patrick's back. So, Patrick, we were just talking about this picture that you had in here from Skelesauria.
Yeah, I love what he did with that head sculpt. And it's on Poxus, which is an amazing looking figure. And had to give this custom extra love this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, where is mine? And it's right above me.
Vonnie Rotten, I think he's talking about the dio. It's a CNC design. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah. So was it the dragon inlay that was making you think it was a factory produced thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that looks too intricate to do by hand for sure.
Yeah, but we know a guy who could print one of those up.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if it was like the whole thing was printed, or with some other toy line, or if that at that one piece was just added to it. But yeah, it looks cool either way.
Yes, very cool. And that Poxus figure is just amazing. I can't wait to get more to pop and swap for customs.
Gotcha. I haven't taken mine apart yet to see what I'm missing out on underneath all the soft goods and stuff, but I love that torso piece. What else did it show? It shows up on one of the skeletons for the Necronomicon.
Scully Bone Splitter or the Raider?
Yes. Yeah, Scully.
Yeah.
Okay. Which we got the fourth retailer wave announcement this morning. The new Undead of Vikenfell skeleton 2.0 warrior. So it says Scully is the leader of that group of warriors. So that's a pretty cool looking.
Had I done shelf selections, I was going to grab Trevor's photo of the three of them coming down the hall with the different heads on the same buck. Really just demonstrating to everyone the playability of that figure. I thought that was super cool, but
those heads are great.
The figure is great.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back here for a moment because I put that new figure. It comes with the bigger helmet wings, not the flat wings like that comes with Freya. And since she's Freya of Deadhall and Vikenfell, like there's like the connection there. Like I put those bigger wings on her helmet because I thought they made her look a little more regal. So seeing them on the 2.0 skeleton Undead of Vikenfell made me feel really happy about that little pop swap decision. Anyway, moving on. From the Badass Reviews, a couple of Valiant Knights making their way through some sort of damage.
Making their way downtown. No, different. Sorry.
That looks straight out of Excalibur. Just
right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is great.
Yeah. It's like it looks like a petrified forest or like a haunted woods or something. Yeah, it's really cool. Again, Badass Reviews. Make sure you go back and start following all these accounts we're sharing because lots of cool stuff. And like Curtis, nope, that's a spoiler for our Wednesday one shot this week. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
All right. Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying as far as looking like Excalibur, which is a great movie. I mean, it's not Holy Grail, when it comes to King Arthur movies, but it's pretty good. So yeah, this looks really cool. I like it. I mean, it's definitely better than Wheel of Time, though. We can all agree on that.
Oh man!
You're lucky. I don't have a fork on me.
I might have to kick you out of the show for that one, Curtis.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't watch. Listen, I wouldn't bother watching that garbage.
I don't want to. All right. See, Patrick, what Curtis is doing, he's saying worse things than I did, so it shifts the focus off of me onto him. So thank you, Curtis. You don't need to fall on your sword for this.
I did turn it off after the opening scene. The opening scene made me so angry that I turned it off.
Of Wheel of Time?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I've only read the first book and and like 6 chapters of the second one, but opening up with Red Aja really angered me.
For the record, I liked the show. I've enjoyed the show. I just don't like it as much as I like other fantasy things. That's
all right.
Next picture. Oh, hey, that's the end.
Shelf selections, everybody.
Done and done.
So we wanted to have you guys on because next week is pretty big week for you guys with Zolocon, and know that you guys got some great stuff that you've been working on for it. You guys have been doing that event now for a little while. But before we get into the whole Zolocon thing, one thing I messaged you guys kind of talked about earlier this week. We've got a lot of new people in the community, specifically Nerdzoic's video a week or two ago was talking about, is it too late to get into Legions, which, spoiler alert, the answer was no. And he kind of talks about like how to get into legions, what the best things are to do, and that kind of thing. And one of the things he brings up is the Cabal. And since then, we've seen an influx of a lot of new people in the Cabal. I would say well over 100 new people that have joined. So if any of them are joining tonight and watching us live, or if any of them are watching on replay, thought it'd be good to kind of talk about what the Cabal is, how to have a good experience in the Cabal. So kind of a do's and don'ts kind of thing. And I thought it'd be cool to just kind of round robin this. I know we've done this kind of once before. It's been a while, Jesse, but just kind of you go around and, you know, this is something to do. This is something to not do in order to, you know, kind of have a good experience in the Cabal. So you guys up for that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. I'll go ahead and lead us off, and then we'll go to Jesse, and we'll just counterclockwise this thing. So I'll start off with this community is one where there's a lot of sharing and caring. It's not like a lot of other toy communities where it's, you know, you're focused on yourself. So my do is give to the community, and that can mean a lot of different things. It could be helping somebody out in need that needs a part that you have an extra of. It could be, you know, liking somebody's picture when you think that they did a great job of a custom, of photography, whatever. Could be commenting on it and telling them what you'd like about it. Could be contributing tips or ideas that you found through customizing or whatever. So just give to the community is my first do. Jesse?
Do what diddy dum diddy do.
That's a good one.
I would say do it's kind of in line with your giving, but it's put in what you expect to get out of it. So if you want goodness, put goodness out there. I mean, I think you can do that with just life in general, but yeah, if you know, be supportive, encourage people, you know, comments, likes, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, put the goodness out there. Hopefully you don't want to be in there to put out bad stuff. So I should say that put good out into the Cabal, I guess is what I'll say. Do good.
All right. Nate?
Do right by yourself. Put your best person forward, because we all have multiple personalities. We're all capable of you know, we've seen Curtis rag on Jesse as a character. It's not who he is. It's a character that he plays from time to time. So you know, put your best self forward, and I mean that in the pictures you put up. Like, spend the time to make sure you've got the lighting right. Spend the time to get that extra dab of paint on something that you've been working on that you love. And that's some advice that I should take myself. I'll put stuff up when it's half done, and I'm like expecting the community to see what I see that isn't done yet. So that's a reminder to me to put my best foot forward.
Okay. Patrick?
I'm going to say no question is really a bad question to ask.
Okay.
You know, pertaining to the line. Put the question out there, scroll through the Cabal. Maybe you'll see somebody else asking the exact same question. The community is very helpful with that. They will go out of their way to help get you the answer you're looking for. I also add on to that, if it's a customer service question, just ask for the email.
There you go. Dorklayer has one here. He says, make friends. Gravitate to like-minded members. Don't just assume everyone is your friend. Be a friend and make a friend. You know, I know we talk a lot about Legions Con and the different events. We're going to talk about Zolocon here in a bit. You know, if you go to one of those events, it's very good chance that you're going to leave with a new friend that you didn't have before. So just be open to that. So I think that's a good one.
I met Jesse at Zolo.
Yeah. My next one, I'll start.
at Legions Con 21, Patrick, in line outside, or Nate?
I met you there too, but you met at my table.
Yeah, no, I think Nate, I keep confusing you, I think, with someone else who probably had a similar hat, but Sean and I were standing like outside the corner of the building waiting to go in the Sunday of Legions Con 21. I keep thinking that was you, but I
it's
don't know.
entirely possible. I thought it's definitely possible, but definitely the one that stuck in my mind was Zolo, because you were thinking about buying a troll.
Yep, because you were right behind me or right in front of me in line.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with some of the don'ts. I'm gonna hit a don't. You guys can stay on do's if you want, or you can go to don'ts, whatever you want. But my first don't, and I don't know that I should have to say this, but I do, especially after this weekend. Don't steal. Like, stealing is bad. So if you see somebody that does something you like, whether it's the Horseman, whether it's another third-party printer, whatever, don't just steal their work. It's one thing to be inspired by somebody's work and make your own, thing that you're inspired by theirs. But don't take their stuff and try to profit off of somebody else's idea. That's not cool. There's plenty of stuff out. I mean, this world that we've got, especially now that we've got, cosmic in there as well. So you got space, you got mythic, you got sword and sorcery. There's enough ideas out there for everybody. You don't need to take somebody else's. So there you go. Don't steal.
I will say it's a do and a don't. Do take the time to read the Cabal guidelines or rules or that sort of stuff. They're there for a reason. I mean, it's not like a super strict. I mean, I'm not technically an admin, so I don't like go through and like rule on anything. But like, those things are there to help ensure the community is what it is, and it is a family friendly group. So, there's reasons they have those things in there, and do follow, like with Curtis was saying, do follow the third party custom like guidelines, which I think you can find that on Source Horseman, but in the Cabal, that you can ask those questions and find out. But yeah, do take the time and read through those rules. They're not that extraneous. I mean, they're more common sense than anything, or just kind of basic common courtesy, I should say, than common sense. Do that, and don't agree to the rules if you don't want to participate by them.
All right, Nate.
Don't leave your mic open when your cat is running rampage in your toy space. Don't. It kind of goes with, there is no bad question. Like, don't be afraid to ask the question. But if you're someone who's been in the community for a really long time, don't take the position of a all-knowing know-it-all, because then you cease to be kind. It's don't be afraid to ask the question, and don't be afraid to answer it without being snarky.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we fall into the trap of, because we've seen the answer to something, 500 times, doesn't mean that person that asked the question has seen that answer all those times. So, just hold back your desire to be a smartass and just be kind. So,
but also with customs, don't be afraid to break some rules. Like, do something nuts. Yeah. Like, it is fun to just dry brush a knight and make him look dirty. That's cool. It's fun, and it's not something I'm particularly good at. But it's also fun to tear a torso off and give him just a lion's head right on the hips.
I'm gonna say, to add on to what you're saying there, Nate, the reason no one can see what you're thinking when you're in the middle of a thing is because and again, I say this with all the love and respect and admiration I can, like, until you get it assembled, it's hard to imagine what's going through your head, because you have such, and this is not an insult. You have such an out there imagination. Like, you just
Mad
see
scientist.
things in different ways. So like, I know how that creative process works. My mind just doesn't think the way yours does.
Right.
But like, as you know, like, you might have to get 3/4 of the way before I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there. Look,
And
with all due
that's
respect,
fair.
is not a bad thing to say. Just because you want to use emojis incorrect from what they actually mean, Van, doesn't mean real words don't mean what they actually mean.
I wanted to pull this one up from Dork Lair because I thought it went right with what Nate's saying. Also, on the other side, take the time to read posts and comments. And I know Cookie had mentioned earlier, use the search. Especially if you're new, if you're asking a question that you think could be something that's already been answered before, go ahead and search for it and see if there's an answer already out there. You may be able to save yourself and somebody else a lot of time. So just be aware of that as well.
Go ahead, Pat, and then I got one more. Don't.
Yep. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah. Do talk with your admins. Each and every admin in the Cabal are super fans and love the line. They're not here to hate you or hate on you. They would want to be your friend too. Okay? Talk to them. Get to know them. They will be extra helpful to you at any time of the day.
Yeah, agreed. Do you want to pull up a couple of these comments before we go to our next round, which I think will be our final round because I think we've been hitting some really good ones. So we'll do one more round. But Kevin M. Boots, do wear deodorant at cons. That is once
Very
again
important.
probably not something we should have to say, but for some reason we do. So yes, make sure you wear deodorant at cons. And I know, especially like Legion's Con, it's a 3-day event. People are staying up late. They're getting up early. They're not sleeping much. So it's your time is sucked up pretty good. But take that extra 30 seconds, throw on a little swipe of deodorant or a spray or whatever, and it'll go a long way. So
I'm a little shocked no one's ever had a deodorant booth, to be honest with you. It might actually.
Wasn't someone given like walking around with like a bowl of it or something?
I think they were. Yeah. Steve-O says, don't be a prick in the roses. No one's impressed with your lack of respect. Yeah. And, listen, I've been as guilty of this as anybody because sometimes, especially when you see somebody lashing out, they have a negative post. They're bashing the Horsemen, which, we all love these toys. We love this toy line. So when that happens, there's an inclination from some of us to come to their defense and, just don't take the bait. If there's somebody trolling you, just scroll on, because the more you comment, the more that you keep lashing back at that person. First of all, you're not going to change their mind. Nobody's ever won an argument on the internet. That just doesn't happen. And all you're doing is throwing that post that you don't like back to the top of the Cabal over and over and over again. So just let it go. Yeah. And then there was one more down here. Anthony says, do or do not. There is no try. So yeah, definitely for sure. And Mark Rivera says, be excellent to each other. The good words from Bill and Ted. So,
and good words from Bill.
Yeah.
Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn.
For sure. So my last do that I'll hit you guys with is have fun. These are toys. Like, play around. There's so much creativity in the Cabal. Get the toys, pop them apart, put them together in other formations, put some paint on rivets, do some dry brushing, do some photography, take stuff outdoors, walk around in nature and find places that you think it'd be cool to put your toys and take pictures. Just have fun with this stuff. It's toys. It doesn't need to be serious all the time. It can just be having fun. So yeah, there you go. Have fun. Jesse?
Man, it's so, you guys hit so many good points. Do you like oh man, I don't know. Do the do.
Yeah.
No, like I was listening to everything you guys were saying instead of thinking about the next thing I should say.
We can come back to you. You want us to hit you last?
Yeah, sir,
Okay.
circle back to me. Yeah,
We'll hit you last.
All right.
Nate, one last one. Do or don't.
Sure. It's do warm up your figures in February when you get them. That's it. I mean, I know that there are a lot of lines where that isn't a thing, but this is one where you have to every once in a while warm it up in a just treat it with some care, and then it will be super playable and do whatever you want it to do. And that's, I mean, even if you think you know what you're doing, just go ahead and give it an extra couple minutes under that hairdryer.
Yep. Very good one. And Patrick?
Oh, how was I going to say this? Okay. Do put in to the cabal what you want it to be. Make the cabal what you want it to be. All right? That's not exactly coming out right.
Are you saying kind of like the golden rule, like do unto others within the cabal?
No, like don't make assumptions that the cabal is one thing when it's more like I've seen it said many times in the past that the cabal is all about customizing. It's not. Customizing is just one part of the cabal.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you put in, don't assume basically that the whole line is all about one thing. It's all encompassing. What I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and pull this up from Rob because it kind of ties into what you were just saying there. What if we're not pro photographers or aren't looking to take some great shots and we just want to take a picture of our recent haul? That's fine too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I love seeing when people got new stuff, or especially when they say, I made a trade with so-and-so and they sent me this stuff and they also threw in this sticker or this pin or this extra part that I wasn't expecting. And, I love that kind of stuff, especially when, folks are recognizing other people within the community. So, take pictures of your hauls, show them for sure.
Yep. And there's, I'm forgetting his name, but there's, he made the coloring book. Like his
Dusty Standiford.
Yeah, Dusty. Yeah. Thank you. His that was his skill set, and he was like, "This is how I enjoy this." And having that added to the community was a wonderful asset. Like, thank you. Mm-hmm. We can all, and we have a new member in our customizing studio, and she's whipping all kinds of sketches up that are showing the ideas that she has for new customs. That's fantastic. It's experiencing the hobby in the way that you want it to be experienced. So good on all of you for doing it your own way and maybe opening a door for us. Oh, I didn't realize I could do it that way. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. Jesse, I've got a few comments starred, but you want to hit us with your last
my thought. Go ahead.
Okay, you want us to do the comments first? Okay. Yeah. Chuckaluck says, appreciate you mentioned the don't steal. I've been so nervous about sharing my creations, fearing someone will steal my ideas and concepts. Appreciate this comment. One thing I will say is it's not a race. It's not a competition too. So just because somebody does something doesn't mean you can't do your version as well. And what I mean by that is I've seen like David Williams did an amazing Buzz Off tribute, right? And it just came out fantastic. But if somebody else had that idea or was working on it, I saw one person comment on David's post and say, "Oh, I was going to make that, but now I'm not going to make it because yours is so good." Make yours too. It doesn't matter. That's fine. I hope that the Horsemen don't go, "Oh, we don't want to do that as a tribute figure now because David did it." And I tell you what, I've seen some of the best artists in the community, like Eric LeBron, if you look at a lot of his early work, he got to start by looking at Jeremy's page, and Jeremy actually had, put together like recipes on all of his figures that he created on his website. And he wanted people to like, hey, if you really like this and you want to create it yourself, here you go. That to me is not necessarily stealing, especially if you're making it for yourself. But yeah, don't be afraid to throw your stuff out there, but also like, don't try to profit off of somebody else's ideas. So that's where it kind of changes.
Right. It's one thing to see amazing buzz off and create and then try and replicate it. It's another to see that buzz off, replicate it, and then say, would anybody like to buy this David Williams buzz off?
Yeah, or comment on David's post. Oh, I could put that together. If anybody wants one, hit me up, and I'll. That's tacky and not cool. Here's one from Carver Custom, says, don't be afraid to share a custom you're working on and ask for tips. Everyone is generally willing to help. That is 100% true. I mean, talking like paint matches, different techniques for. I know. Like just recently when I was working on that slog custom, I had never dyed a figure. So I had to reach out to Jesse and say, hey, I know you've worked on dyeing a couple figures. What are some tips and stuff? There's a wealth of knowledge out there. Don't be afraid to use it. Even if you want to get into the sorcery that is airbrushing, there's people out there that'll teach you those dark arts. I am TJ Williams, says start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Yeah. We did a whole painted up contest this past year. That was the whole idea was really just get started, just start painting. Doesn't matter if it's a rivet, doesn't matter if it's dry brushing, do something because it's very contagious. Once you start, it's hard to stop. And it's a really fun hobby. So, and then I've got this one from Dorklair. Do understand how you say things matters. The way you say something is fair game for criticism. And just because someone criticizes the way you say something doesn't mean they're silencing you. Yes, we can have differences of opinion. Just be kind to one another. And just like somebody has a right to say, I think the Four Horsemen are putting out shoddy quality right now. Somebody else very much has the right to say, I think that you're wrong. So just know that cuts both ways. So I'll look to see if there's any other last ones to pull up, Jesse, but you want to hit us with your last one?
Yeah. So, and a lot of these comments we've been making, I think some of them are very specific to the Cabal about like the customs and the photos and stuff. But do remember, it kind of goes in tandem with that Dorklair one you just had pulled up from Bill. That do you remember? There's real people on the other side of that icon and that handle on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. And we're specifically talking about the Cabal, but like that's a person. And yeah, maybe you're having a bad day. You get on, you see their negative comment. Clearly, if they post something and they're upset, piling on more is just going to make them more upset, and it's going to be that whole back and forth thing, like Curtis was saying. No one ever really wins an argument on the internet, or does anyone really win arguments in real life? But like, I know I go to this all the time. Look it up. There's a Key and Peele skit where they're texting each other back and forth.
I love that one.
And I can't remember which one, or like I can't remember which character's doing which role, but sends a text like, hey, what are the plans for tonight? And he's like, oh, I don't know, whatever. What do you mean whatever? I thought and it's back and forth, like they're totally misreading each other's context.
Yeah, because when you're reading it, you can put whatever inflection or tone on it that you want. And if you're already in a bad mood, you're probably going to read it in a certain way as opposed to,
Right. Like, I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but if I'm in a bad mood and I'm walking fast, my shirt gets snagged on a door handle more often than when I'm walking calmly. And that just puts me in more of a bad mood. And maybe if I wasn't in a bad mood stomping through the building, my shirt wouldn't have gotten snagged on that door handle. So yeah, just do remember that there's,
There's so much truth in that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's like you're walking faster, your clothes are fluttering a little more, and I'm going to knock everything over. But yeah, just remember there's a real person on the other end of that, and maybe you've got a really good zinger. If it's not someone you know personally, like Curtis and I, we can get away with some of the stuff we say to each other publicly that people might not get the relationship that we have. So unless it's a friend like that, maybe hold off that even if you mean it as a joke, maybe hold off. So yeah.
I just want to pull up a few last comments and we'll move on. Joe Vaspolo says, "Let nothing stop you," in all caps. Couldn't agree more. So yeah. Dorklayer says, "Don't be afraid to share even the most basic custom like a head swap. It's fun." Yeah, definitely. Share your creativity. Toy Loco's channel says, "Don't be upset if you post a custom and it inspires others to do the similar thing." Yeah, we already kind of hit that. Cookie says, "Don't get upset when somebody gets their figures before you. Be happy for them." Absolutely, because guess what? Somebody's always going to be first and somebody's always going to be last. And
Yep.
I've gotten enough shipments from the Horsemen to know sometimes I'm at the front end of that and sometimes I'm at the tail end of that. So you will get it and you'll be taken care of. Just gotta have a little patience. And you know what? If you've already waited two years for a wave, one more week ain't gonna make the world of difference. Just have a little patience. It's fine. It'll get there.
I'll say, if I can say one more thing, it's not really
Yeah,
a do
go
or
ahead.
don't, but as far as like, the story, the saying, what, like, there's nothing new, everything's repeated. If you do a custom, if it's something you're working on and you're really proud of it, and someone else does almost the exact same thing before you do, like, I know you kind of mentioned this earlier, but like if it's a custom piece that you make or something like that, some things in fantasy a lot of people have seen and read and watched and indulged in a lot of the same things, and just because it's not as publicly talked about doesn't mean it's not in their mind. So like, I know Eric Miller did his Four Horsemen, or his figure obscura. He did a headless horseman. He was waiting to reveal it, and then they announced the figure obscura, and and his was awesome. It was similar, but completely his own style, and it was just as impressive and just as amazing as the figure obscura release. So you never know. Like someone said, you might inspire someone else to do something similar or completely inspired by that. So yeah, I think
So
that's
I've
awesome.
got one more that's kind of a do/don't. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a healthy debate on it. But before we go to that, do we want to do one of our giveaways, Jesse?
Oh, sure. Patrick, I'm gonna let you talk about this. First thing we're gonna do a giveaway for tonight is it together? You go ahead and talk about it while I get the giveaway.
Yeah, it is the new head sculpt from Wolf King Customs, painted by me. It should actually match Sir Owain Knight and a Cabal shield painted by me. Both of these items come together along with a Sir Owain Knight, which is being provided by Wolf King Customs. And the winner of these will get them after Zolocon.
Okay.
Cool.
Were you showing those off? Nice shirt, by the way. I just realized what you were wearing.
Here's the head.
Cool.
Let me get it over here.
Yeah, it's always reverse. Very nice.
Shield.
Very cool.
Nice. And you said they match their paint match to Sir Owain.
Yes.
Bill really wants that.
So what's a good hashtag for this one?
I've got it here. Hold on one second. Let me
Hashtag best night.
well, since we're promoting you guys.
Hashtag PB Customs.
Yeah, I don't know. There we go. Yeah, hashtag PB Customs.
There you go. So go ahead and type in that hashtag PB Customs. We'll start gathering these entries, and we'll pull that here in just a second. So it looks like you're getting a custom painted head, a custom painted shield from Patrick, as well as a Sirwayne from Wolf King Customs. You know, a figure and 2 painted parts. That's a pretty good deal there. So yeah, definitely put in that hashtag, and we'll pull that in just a minute. So we've got a little bit of a discussion to have, and I'll kind of just kick this off, and then we can have a little talk about older figures that you jump in the line, and you know, like Gorgo Aetherblade is not something I can find right now. Otho is not something I can find right now. So I've seen people, I've done it myself as well, where you take the parts that you have and you recreate that figure through customizing to put in your collection. And I know that some people think that's a great idea. Some people think that's a not great idea. So I want to throw this out here and see, you know, what kind of discussion we can have on that. Is this a do? Is it a don't? Older figures that are expensive, making them a version of them yourself. What say you guys? I'll start with, let's see, randomly, Patrick.
I say don't ever do it. I think of it as you, in a way, in the art world, it's called a forgery. So
Okay.
you're creating a fake version of something that is legit, that people love and own. And it's a slippery slope. I get the reasons why you may want to do it, but it's one of those things, just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do it.
Okay. We'll just go around the horn. So Nate, what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't actually care that much about the character. Like, I don't know anything about the factions. I don't know a damn thing about them. I just like goblins and dwarves and knights and wizards and demons, and you know, I like the fantasy world. So having these specific characters doesn't matter to me as much. And I certainly wouldn't go for the full, like a $400 buy of a $50 figure. So there's that end of it. But also, now that I know how much time it takes me to really give it my all on a custom, my time is worth about that much too. So I don't think I would put in the time to do a ripoff of a character, because I don't care to have an Otho. I just it's not something I don't feel like I missed out. There's so much good stuff coming and that we have access to right now that I can just go and get it. But so I think I'm a little bit different than a lot of the fans, because there are fans that are heavy into the mythology and the backstories, and heavy into the factions, and there are completists and completionists. I don't have that line of thinking for this line. So I think practicing your skills and trying to match something is fine. But man, if you ever tried to sell that as a legit version, or, hey, I've got an Otho in my collection, I made it myself, but I'll sell it to you for $300 instead of $400. No, come on. That again is theft. It's not your own thing. Throw a change in there. You know, if he comes with bear arms, give him some knight arms, give him the cloth arms, make sure it's not a direct copy. Unless you're just going to do it and then tear it apart and paint over it. And just be like, I proved to myself that I could do it.
All right, Jesse, I'm going to turn to you, and then I got to grab something real quick, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to say I have done it. I have done it because I wanted a couple of characters that were older and were expensive on eBay and stuff, and I was like, oh, "There's no way I'm shelling out $300 or $400 for a figure." And then I was weeks later, I was like, even months, I was like, "Oh wait, I kind of have all the parts to make." Like I did a Vorgus, and Orn. Orn, I think mine was different enough from the real thing because I didn't have one in hand to compare it to just pictures online, and I know I didn't get the paint right. But the Vorgus I did, and I thought it looked pretty good. I guess some people said it looked like the second edition, and for me, it was never anything I was going to sell as, like, it was definitely not for sale. It was like I wanted that Vorgus Vermilius. And then once they announced the second one was coming, I like reassembled it into a different thing, made a different custom out of it. And I did sell that, but for like, a standard custom price, not but no, Patrick, I get what you're saying. But yeah, my take is, if you're making it for yourself, I think it's fine. And if you ever do go to sell it like a normal thing, and make sure whoever you're selling it to knows it's a custom and not a legitimate thing. Yeah.
All right. So I will give you my take real quick, and I'm going to embiggen myself here because I've got two that I'm going to show you that I've done. And the first one I'll show you is my Otho, because I'm not spending that money on an Otho. And you can clearly tell it's not a real Otho. It's got a bishop head from X-Men. I put a little logo on his chest there. It's quite a bit different enough that nobody's going to confuse that for an actual Otho. And then I've got this Gorgo that, I mean, pretty much looks exactly like Gorgo. Like I've seen the original Gorgo, and I think you could probably put this next to it. Probably not going to be able to tell a difference, especially in pictures. Like if somebody were to buy this, you're not going to be able to tell a difference. So those are two that I've done, and I'll tell you kind of what my opinion used to be and kind of what it is now after talking to some friends. My opinion used to be, hey, I've got the parts to make this. I'm going to make it. I'm never going to sell it. If I, first, I mean, we can all get it out of the way. If you made one with the intention of selling it as the original, that's just a dirtbag move. So clearly that's off the table. Don't do that. Okay. Making it for yourself, I was of the, the stance of, well, if you're making it for yourself, what does it matter? You've got the parts, go ahead and do it, whatever. But that being said, if at some point down the road, it could get sold. I mean, we don't all live forever. Let's say you pass away and your loved ones are trying to sell this stuff. They don't know what it is. They don't know that this Gorgo isn't a real Gorgo. They don't know that I painted this. So what if they try to sell this to somebody and they get that in their collection and it's not a real version of it? And so my stance has changed a little bit to where I would say, if you're going to do it for yourself, make it different enough that it's pretty clear to anybody that looks at it that that's your version. So, treat it as if it's like a version 2 from the Horseman. Just change it up a little bit. Put some different arms on it, or put a different whatever. Some sort of paint difference. That would be my my take, is just change it up a little bit so that people know that's not the real version. Whether you're here or you're not here, it gets sold in a lot down the road. You don't want somebody ending up with something that is, like Patrick said, a forgery. So, so now that we've all kind of had our initial takes, anybody have any other points to add, or based on what you've heard from other people? Patrick, any retorts?
Well, I'm going to say that since it started becoming prevalent, I've started to just basically kind of privately hate on anyone who has done it that I've seen do it. Okay, which is wrong with me. You know, and like Jesse, I thought poorly of you for a long time because of your Orn and your Vorgus. So I'm sorry for that. I was wrong because, you know, you're a good person. Yeah, do I approve of it? No. But like Curtis said, Nate said, make it your own. You know, don't make it exact.
Cool. Nate, anything else to add, or you good?
I think I'm good. I mean, again, there a lot of us have an evolution with this hobby, and like you just described your own, where you were doing something, you thought it was a fine practice, and you know, as we mature through life, we can see a different way. And listen, again, with this community, if you really want something and you are patient, it will come around at a time and at a price that is right for you. And you can get it. You can eat right and exercise, and you will get everything you want in this life. It's just, you just have to live long enough to get there, and that thing you want will show up and become available to you. Look at all this shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Jesse, final words.
I just want to say to Patrick that there's nothing you have to apologize for. But I'll fully accept that, and thank you for sharing that. That's yeah, it was definitely never anything. When you said forgery at the beginning, I was like, oh, I never quite thought about it that way. And you're not wrong. But that's you know, definitely not anything. I was definitely not trying to pass it off to anyone else and that sort of a thing. But that's perspective I had that was wrong. So thank you. And going forward, for the record, if I do make any, like the Azza, I'm definitely I've already got different parts in mind to make her a little bit different from the original, so it wouldn't be a 1-to-1 imitation if someone didn't know any better.
And I look forward to seeing what you make.
We should all have like a digital stamp that we could stick on these things somewhere that like you can only see under the right kind of light, you know,
or burn it into their feet or something.
Yeah, well, the feet come off so easy, so you know, quick little swap there. But yeah, it should have a chip in it. I don't know.
Yeah. Nate's trying to get us like a blacklight stamp, like we're in the club or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to pull this comment up here. Van, you know, take a moment to acknowledge how big of Patrick was to speak his mind and offer sincere apology for holding judgment. I totally respect that, Patrick. And
well,
I genuinely appreciate that.
And just to wrap up the whole kind of cabal do and don't conversation, realize that you know, if you're a new person coming in, you're going to make a certain first impression on somebody. So just be aware of how you come across. And as somebody that's experienced in the cabal, just realize that just because you get a first impression of somebody doesn't mean that's who they are. Give them time and give them a chance to prove to you who they really are, more than what that first impression is. So yeah, I think that's a good way to wrap that up. So
yep.
How are we looking on that giveaway there?
Well, we've got 46 entries out of 68 in the chat. Thank you. I was trying to find that button. So we're going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hashtag PB Customs to win the cool Patrick painted shield and helmet to match Sir Owain. Spinning now. There should be like a sound effect.
No, we said that every time.
Perry?
Congrats, Raphael.
Congratulations.
Congrats, sir.
Beautiful. not sure where you're at, Raphael, if you're going to go to Zolocon, you could definitely pick these up from Patrick and Len there at Zolocon. Otherwise, I guess message Patrick and they will arrange to get that shipped to you. Does that work, Pat?
That works. Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Congratulations, Raphael.
Do we want to queue up the next one while we continue with the conversation?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Nate, why don't you go ahead and talk about this one for a minute?
Sure. I was at a loss. I'm not very good at doing nice things. So any part on the Wolf King Customs site, you pick it out, you let me know, we'll get in a little private chat. I'll get in your head, you'll get inside mine. It'll be fun. And I will paint up any part. Let's make it 2. any 2 parts. So like pick out a head, pick out some pauldrons. I'll paint them up for you.
Okay.
To match whatever you want, or it doesn't have to match anything. It could be, you could say I've got an idea for X, Y, and Z, and these are the parts that will get me there. And then I'll help fill in the blanks.
Yeah, you might not make it out.
All right. So,
but yeah, sounds like dealer's choice. So that's cool.
Hashtag Telltale Art Customs. Yes, that's a mouthful. Good thing you're typing. Telltale Art Customs. Go ahead and punch that in. It's all ready to receive your hashtag entries.
Let's wait and see if we get. Let's
don't
make
do
sure
don't
that it's
do true
tracking
troll
first.
heads. Don't no. I mean, come on. Don't.
Okay, it is tracking. So here we go. Okay.
Oh yeah. When I said any head, and then I made it 2. Like, if you pick a troll, you're getting a troll head. And let's not be greedy here, people. But
yeah, because some of those are those are pricey pieces.
Those are big prints. And
unpainted are pricey pieces. So
yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about Zolocon. So all 3 of you guys are going. Can you talk to us a little bit first about the event, and then we'll get into kind of what things that you're bringing, what people can expect, that kind of thing. So, who's been to the most Zolocons at this point?
It's going to be a tie between Pat and I, because definitely was going long before I knew about Legions.
Yeah. So what can people expect going to Zolocon next weekend?
Pat?
I expect tons of vintage toys, and the building itself is an old NASA training facility. It has you'll see parts of the old centrifuge, which is always called the Fuge. There, you'll see cosplayers. Of course, 4 Horsemen will be there. But generally, it's a decent mix of vintage toys. I'd say it's good 70% vintage, at least last year it was, and the other 30% modern toys.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Comics. Yeah,
it's a dark venue.
it is.
That's my only negativism for the event, but so that God bless the people who bring their own lighting for their display booths. But
when you say dark, you mean lighting. You're not talking
lighting
about
wise. Lighting wise, it's a little. When you're trying
these
to
pictures are with all the lighting on. Normally, the lights are darker. It's almost like you're at a movie theater in the 80s. So there's a lot of colored lights and screen projectors going, but it doesn't look like this picture.
Right.
When the lights are dimmed. So how the lights dimmed is for those of you who are at Legions Con this year, how they would dim every so often because someone leaned against the buttons. It's like that, but the whole show.
Gotcha. Well, it sounds like Nate's cat has a little bit something to say on it. So I don't know.
Yeah, she does. Oh man, is she chatty lately? But so I gave you the negative, but I'm seeing a lot of people just in these photos that I recognize from being there year after year. There's Lego stuff. There's Transformers stuff. There's He-Man stuff. There's a guy who does dice. If you're into D&D, it's just a table filled with dice. It's amazing. And NECA's there.
Oh, I love the Ghostbusters reference.
Allegedly, NECA's not being there this year. What I've heard.
That's
What?
what I heard too. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh wow.
man, I have been
That's a
wrong
bummer.
so much in the last couple of days. It's really starting to get to me because I'm kind of a know-it-all and just I've been wrong. So wrong.
So is this the floor plan that we're looking at here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is So this big round yellow circle is the main area. So you
Mhm.
come in through these doors over here, and the horsemen are like right here at these tables, and Wolf King's right over here.
Yep. And the first year I saw the Horsemen there, they were doing the wave with Purplore. And they had a single table. And no line. And so it was just like the growth of the company is insane. And the fandom.
Yeah, and the working at it last year and going to it the years previous, the last year before, their line's right here. So this is the door into the main showroom. As soon as we came up the stairs, the line to the Horseman was like out here into this hallway, and it just went straight in. So like you had to like walk on either side of that line if you wanted to go anywhere else in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, and what else you can expect? You can expect to see us. We're going to be there with Len and Wolf King, and we've got a pretty sizable booth ourselves. I'm going to stop saying our because it really is just Len, and he's super nice to let us tag along and show some of our stuff. But yeah, we're going to bring tons of parts and anything that he doesn't have there that you've seen on the site. He's going to be offering free shipping. He'll give you a code. So it'll be just like you're at the show, except you'll get it 3 days later. You know, he's always been top notch with shipping parts out and stuff. So, yeah, you're going to be able to get a nice taste for what we do.
Awesome. I think, Patrick, we're getting a little bit of echo off of yours again. You may need to pop back off and back on. That seemed to fix it last time. Just FYI.
Okay.
And we know it's him and not mine because I've got this mic right here.
Yeah, because I like muted his mic and then it stopped.
Okay.
Yep. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
Squirrel,
So-
what's your do and don't, Squirrel? Mm-hmm.
So Nate, what are you planning on bringing? With you? What are some of the stuff that people can expect to see from you?
Well, those who were at Legion's Con already saw a bunch of what I'm bringing. I did a bunch of purple people in the cosmic wave. I did one of those monkey heads on a slog. But I am going to be bringing something that is it's the only non-Wolf King thing that I'm bringing, but I'm going to be bringing my Moby Dick. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe a quarter of what I want to have for this upcoming Legion's Con. But it'll be a little taste of what that display will look like. And I try and my work tends to reference something that already exists. So I'm like, don't copy people's stuff, but I also have no original ideas of my own. I grab from literature, I grab from mythology, I grab from kids' books.
Yeah, but you've got that Nate brain that figures out unique ways of putting these together. Yeah.
I think there's a little difference in taking inspiration from something, because like Emil does with his tribute figures, like yes, that's Darth Vader or whatever he's doing, but it's not just, he didn't just remold a Black Series figure, you know,
Right.
like he, you know, so yeah.
Welcome back, Patrick.
Yeah. And then I'm also bringing a bunch of heads that I painted up from Wolf King. And we'll be putting those on other cosmic figures. It's mostly cosmic stuff. We'll be putting those on cosmic figures so you can get an idea of what a painted part would look like. And then he should have a lot of that in stock at show. And you'll be able to pick one up and give it a shot for yourself. And we'll be there to, if you have any questions about, well, how did you get from A to B? That's what we're there for. Just to chat it up. And I look forward to seeing what you guys do.
Nice. And Patrick, obviously you're going to have shields. What else can people expect to see from you at Zolocon?
Hold that
I'm
thought.
gonna have.
Okay.
I have some pictures to share.
Oh, very nice. You want to talk through these, Patrick?
Okay, so yeah, that's some of the that's the work in progress on the shields that I'm doing for Zolo. The white ones there are missing just the purple rim on it, and the green one there is about half finished in that photo.
Very nice.
And the one on the right is the one you've offered into the giveaway for tonight.
Correct.
That's
the
Raphael
giveaway.
one. And so is this helmet.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure when in the show these were going to come up, so I didn't. Yeah,
I love the purple and green shields. It's very Illidan like from World of Warcraft, and I absolutely love that. And the fade, how it like goes from like the darker green down into the like kind of yellow.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
It's almost like somebody airbrushed it, but like with actual talent. So
No, that's and it's all by hand.
that was just a shot. Shot across the bow.
Wow. Right here. You got me.
I really like this one with to match the Waltor colors. I think that one's I might have to grab one of those if there's any left.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that one is actually, the logo is bone colored, and it matches pretty close to the Walter figure itself as well.
Nice.
Nice. You'll have to make sure that Walter gets one of those.
So yeah, that was my favorite of
Also
those.
this one.
Oh, that's nice.
That is a head is essentially a commission piece that I did with G and Art, and based on the character Mordred from the movie Excalibur. Now, I didn't go an exact copy on the head, but it's so close to it that Len isn't comfortable with being on the Wolf King site, but he's allowing me to have some at the show. So I will have heads painted to match the Gold Knight, as well as unpainted heads available at the show.
Okay. I think there's some more pictures of this. Nope. Sorry.
We do have a super chat here from Hedgehog Action. $1.99. That Knight helmet, though. Yeah, I did a great job with that Knight helmet. That came out awesome.
This is Sir Jonathan head.
This one? Oh,
yep.
Yes. Yes, that is the Hedgehog Knight. Okay. And
now there's some of the heads. Yep. That's some of the heads I'll have.
Those look great.
I see you're trying to imitate the Curtis Ackerman thumb.
Very nice. Yeah, you do such a good job with the scapular, or not the
scaphoid.
Scaphoid, the scaphoid colors. Like you've done quite a few of those, you know, whether it's the the Walter DeMarco, like the skeleton torsos and heads and stuff. And yeah, your color scheme on that is really top notch.
Yeah, thank you, Curtis. It's really fun to paint that. I was almost going to paint the king skeleton there in scaphoid colors, but I resisted that urge and painted him to match Tibius. As you can see, there's two versions of that, what I'm calling the Golden Dread head. One slays battle damaged undead version, and then the more knightly version.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And that one also a couple painted for the show.
And you're going to be distributing the Cabal chest plugs, correct? Is that
correct? Yes. If you looking for the Cosmic Cabal chest plugs, find me at Zolocon and ask me to plug you. I'll plug you.
Nice.
Tell them shooting the shelf sent. Yep. Nope. I can't even say it.
I do have one more. Oh, do you have more stuff of Pat's to show?
Nope.
I have one more plug then. Speaking of plugs, I'm going to be running a contest at Zolocon. If you can make it to the show, what I would like for you to do is I'm going to have a sketch pad there with me and some pencils. And I would love for you to come and draw up a sketch of a custom idea you have into the sketch pad. And then after Zolocon, I'll throw all of those images up on the Cabal. We'll vote on the ones that you guys like the most, and we'll narrow it down to 5. And then from that 5, I will pick a winner, just based on what really interests me and what fires me up. And also, you know, if it's a clear winner and everybody votes for one, then I'll just do that one. But we'll narrow it down to 5, and then that person will get a free custom for me in its entirety.
Beautiful.
So, you know, it could be a tribute of something. If you aren't a skilled sketcher, I don't care if you come and write me a poem. You know, I just want your art in this book, and we'll have an amazing collection of interesting things from the community. So please stop by, spend as much time as you want. Don't hog the book, you know, share if somebody's waiting in line, but, you know, get it in there and let's see what you got. I would love to get some really crazy ideas.
And just so you know, Nate, Billy says that his cat is talking to your cat. So they're having a conversation.
I mean, we could do a vote right now if you're in the chat and you would like me to get my cat out of the room.
No, not at all. It's awesome. Okay, well, Jesse, can we take a look at that? The names that we've been gathering for that, or the entries? I don't see it on the screen, so I don't know.
Yeah, because I had to drop it. I thought I brought it back.
0.
Okay.
0. Nobody wants one of my babies.
No, I don't think that's
We got 55 names or 55 entries out of 76 people watching. That's a pretty good balance there. 77, so that needs to go up at least 2 more. Come on, people. Hashtag Telltale Customs. Punch it in now.
Customs.
That's what I said. Telltale Art Customs. That's not what I said. I said it wrong. See, now I'm reading it all weird. Now I'm reading Telltale Art Customs because I'm French in my mind sometimes. Yeah. All right, come on. All right, we got 2 more. Spinning in nice. 1, 2, 3. Draw. They want to see your cat, Nate.
Oh, okay. She doesn't like to be picked up, but
Joseph H. Congratulations.
Congrats, Joseph.
You are a winner.
Oh, she definitely doesn't like that.
Well, I gave you guys a crop shot. Like she's like, hey, I'm a simple lady.
So, so yes, reach out to Nate, and Nate, you and Joseph H. Will work out which parts.
Yep.
Joseph, if you're coming to Zolocon, talk to him at Zolocon. We'll be at the Wolf King table.
Absolutely. Are you coming to Zolo, Joseph?
Let us know.
Let us know. No,
So
but that'll be super easy. You can just say here and hand me one, and I will paint it.
in addition
There you
to you guys, I know Jesse's going to have some stuff available. Jesse, you want to let the people know what they can expect from you?
Shenanigans flannel. No, not shenanigans. Hold on, I'm getting the next giveaway ready.
Okay. Well, in addition to Jesse, there's also a street team led by Len LaGuardia, who did an amazing job on Purple Gang Gang last night. Probably the best Len's ever looked. And yeah, he'll be running that horseman table and having some cool figures at great prices. So if you're at Zolocon and you're looking for some awesome 4 horseman figures at some really awesome prices, check that out. Now, Jesse.
Yes. So I will have it right here. This will not be for sale. This is just showing off. I will have my Thalen matte paint matched caribou, Terran the caribou. Apparently that's what Len put him on the post.
Love
as
that.
With his flocked antlers, which are not showing up very well in the light, but he'll be there when I finish the tape here. He'll be there. I'll have a bunch of painted heads as well. And
hold on 1 second. I'm being told that I'm wrong. So it's a 4-H run event. Okay, I thought this was a street team. My bad, folks. Don't listen to me. You can still get great 4 horseman products at great 4 horseman prices. Just going to be directly from them, which is even better. You know?
I was like, ooh, that's news to me. We're going to be a lot busier than I thought. I don't think I'm going to have time for a sketch.
It's been a long day, folks. So you got to excuse me. But luckily, I've got plenty of friends along in the chat that are just itching for the chance to tell me when I'm wrong. And I was trying to give them an opportunity. Sometimes I got to fake mistakes.
Not telling you you're wrong. Just
don't realize that I'm a robot. Oh, shit.
You were just misinformed.
Yeah, no, the Wolf King table is usually usually just to the left of the Horseman table. So you go through the Horseman table, get some of the figures you have there, and then just loop right around to the Wolf King table and buy some either pre-painted or unpainted parts from the Wolf King team to enhance and expand your collection.
And it's super fun too, because there are a lot of people walk by and they don't know anything about the Horseman or what Len does with the 3D printing, and we get to educate them, and it's a lot of fun to just take one of our parts and be like, come with me, and bring them over to the other to the Horseman table and be like, okay, you see this head? This looks great on this figure. And then you show them the figure, and then you're like, oh wait, hold on, come with me back to the table. And then we've got bucks there that we're taking apart, and we show them how the body actually works. And
we got a super chat, Jesse. You wanna pull that one up?
I mean, I'm going to, just because it's a super chat, but I take no pleasure out of this. Hedgehog with a $1.99 super chat. Curtis was wrong. Hard stop.
If anybody else wants to tell me that I'm wrong and give Jesse money for super chats, that would be fine. Like I said, sometimes I just schedule mistakes so you guys don't realize that I am infallible. So makes me seem more human. So there you go.
It's really cool being there, because last year I'm pretty sure I was the bane of Joe Vasapolo's existence last year, because for him to get out to go get more stuff was at the end of their booth. Their booth was almost butted up against the Wolf King booth, so there was this little wedge, and I ended up standing there and talking to people as they're going through the line, and every 2 minutes it felt like I had to get out of Joe's way, because he was running to go get more stuff, but he didn't have a voice. He couldn't talk. I think that was last year. He didn't have much of a voice, so he couldn't really say anything. So I was just constantly looking over my shoulder to see if Joe was coming out. But it was so much fun to be there, and oh, you think this stuff's cool? Walk down here and then come back over, and we'd tag team off who people just walked. That sounded bad. Walking people down the Wolf King line, showing them what they could do with their new Horseman figures they just bought. So, yeah.
$2 super chat, Billy Beige. No one
That's
cares.
not a. Oh, that is a
I-
real
I-
super chat.
Yeah, I didn't actually say that, but and then Joe Gonzalez, first member of the channel. Curtis was wrong, but he's all right. So and then Joe Vasapola says, that's right, Jesse. I was very sick. Please don't take my grunting as anger. It was the best I could do.
No, that's just years of PTSD from my stepdad. If I'm in anybody's way, I know I feel like I'm the problem. So I don't think you did anything specifically to make me feel that way. I just had to move so you could get by. So I felt that way. Anyway, yes.
Awesome.
Oh, also,
Well,
Joseph, when you hit me up, I go by Nathaniel Armstrong in the Cabal. So
Mm.
if you search for Nate
Oh, yes.
Armstrong, you're going to find another guy. And so.
I believe we have one more giveaway to do.
We do.
Correct? Do we want to start queuing that up?
I do want to do that. If I can remember what buttons to push. So
I'll be back, miss me.
okay.
Van says, no, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. And Curtis was too. Something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
Len
Mhm.
of Wolf King Customs is offering up one of the Warrior Beasts Skullman figure. Now, to be fair, you will not get this until after Zolocon. It will not ship until after Zolocon because Len does not have this yet. So we'll make sure we take note of who wins. If you are there at Zolocon, once Len gets it in hand, I'm sure we can get that worked out with Len to make sure, but we'll make sure we get Len the information of who is winning this. And if you need to send him his address, you can do all that. Sorry, Curtis, you were going to say something.
Yeah, Len wanted me to throw out a disclaimer, which I wasn't going to do, but I'll go ahead and do because it's Len. That if by some, crazy circumstance, a tornado comes and takes the entire shipment of the Skullman figures and they don't actually make it to Zolocon because the tornado whipped them away, or, something thereabouts, and they don't have them at Zolocon, he will do some other figure that is the winner is choosing. But otherwise, yes, it'll be that Skullman figure. So,
and we're using the hashtag Wolf King Customs. And Len says, "Best of luck, you filthy animals." So
didn't he look good last night?
He looked distinguishably distinguished.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Patrick.
Go ahead. Yep.
Other than the Horseman table and working at the Wolf King Custom table, what is one of your favorite things about Zolocon, the event?
The toy hunt, looking at all the cool stuff in the bins. I love the hunting, looking for that cool vintage toy or that newer toy that I've been hunting for, or stumbling across that perfect part for a custom. So yeah, I like to just walk the floor and see as much of it as I can.
Very nice. Did Jesse? I think Jesse locked up, or is he just
no?
Nope.
Mesmerized.
Patrick. Well, maybe I locked up, but Patrick was all choppy on my end. I was trying to.
Oh, I think it was on your end because I heard him just fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Patrick, you're awesome. What about Nate? Really anything you guys want to talk about, about the event or anything that people should know or expect, or why should they come to Zolocon? What's the thing, the driving force that should get them to go there next weekend?
Oh man, I feel like a broken record with this. Like we talk about it all the time, but it really is about, meeting people and getting to see your friends. If you're tuning into this show, there's a very good chance that if you go to Zolocon, you're going to bump into people that you like and have maybe wanted to meet, And man, I mean, I'm gonna go get some dice. I'm gonna go get some, like if you want it, there's a very good chance it's there somewhere on somebody's table. Bring your flashlight because you're gonna need it. But if you want to find something, but it's a fun show. I like all of my Pennsylvania friends usually go to it, and it's just a nice, fun reunion. And those are all like Transformers people primarily. And so it's a cool reunion for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get, for some of us that are too far to travel there next weekend, I'm hoping we get some good Hedgehog content. He's been pretty good about, whether it's, Zolo, RetroCon, any of those kind of ones that he gets around and kind of shows off a few things and talks to people. And so I see him in the comments, and Hedgehog, we need you to do a little bit of work for us folks that can't make it there and show us why we should be jealous and why we should make sure that we're there next year. So good job.
Well,
Jesse,
other than-
what about you? I mean, you've been there now a couple times and it's kind of in your backyard. Why should people come to Zolocon?
I mean, it is a cool show. Like, it's a unique building. Like, it's definitely a unique venue. It's a pain in the butt to set up and tear down. Well, I'm assuming setup was a pain in the butt because I only helped with tear down. I didn't get there in time to set up last year, but I will be there this year for setup. There's like one elevator. There's like one entrance to unload at. It is not a vendor friendly location as far as like the physical design of it. But yeah, the centrifuge is cool. There's a vat of mayo that for some reason they have. That's not actual mayo, but it's like a vat. There's like some sort of museum sciencey explanation. I didn't read it because it was mayo and blah. But but you can go up into like the control room, like the stair. You can take the wobbly stairs up to the control room and everything, and look out and see the pod in the middle and everything. And it's just it's a really cool, unique spot. They play retro ads and like toy commercials and cartoon commercials and stuff all day. Len's saying they give out free. Yeah, the Monster energy drink people were just like handing out Monsters all day last year. Like, they just had cases.
I hope they didn't hand you one during setup or teardown, because you don't hand Jesse stuff. During setup.
They didn't. I wasn't there for setup, so
no. They better not
yeah,
hand you
and
one
Hedgehog
during teardown either.
And Hedgehog, he did say on the Saturday day, night, afternoon, evening, forever ago live that he would be doing live shows, live updates from the show all weekend.
He just said that he'd be there. So cool.
Yeah, and the restaurant downstairs, we ate there after we tore down last year. That was really good food.
Yeah, it was not horrible, which is good because
like Patrick was saying, there's a lot of crazy cool toys.
And beer, apparently.
And beer.
Yeah,
there's a bar up on the 3rd floor and on the basement level or ground floor.
There you go.
So you got options for your intoxicating beverages. Bring me one. Also, please consider coming on Friday. Friday night is a new thing. We're going to have to go and set up early, and we're going to be there all day. And if you don't come, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Fetal position, that's where you'll find me. If you're the first one in and it's 4 hours into the show, you'll find me in the fetal position crying. Please come on Friday.
Lynn says we prefer Liquid Death, the official beverage of Team Wolf King Customs. Can somebody explain to me what Liquid Death is? Because I've seen the cans. I was at
water.
I think it was an intern this past year, and I saw Liquid Death, but I don't know what Liquid Death is.
Yeah, it's water. It's water. My sister-in-law reps them, so I used to get like pallets of it delivered to the house.
So it's water in a can.
It's water in a can, and I mean,
okay.
So I prefer the mountain water, which is just regular water. But then there's like what is it? The seltzer water or whatever they call it.
Yeah, they've got a sparkling. They've got like
But the whole
Arnold Palmer.
Sparkling.
They've got all kinds of flavors now, which I don't love. I love I love just water. You know, like the flavors encourage me to put vodka in it.
It sounds like it's one step away from Spaceballs air in a can.
Well, the whole concept of the can is because it's more recyclable than plastic bottles.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yep. And
right.
no, it is great.
I don't know if
for
I'm
when I'm on a road
lagging
trip.
or what, but like Nate I'm hearing like every third syllable.
It must be you. He sounds great.
Okay. Well, my
Yeah, it's
Wi-Fi's
probably you, but it's
connected, so
also
I don't
the
know
way
what's
I
going on.
speak. I often will.
And they
pause.
have. I don't like sparkling water either. That's why I get the regular water.
Cookie says Len had a flavor at Retro that tasted like death.
Patrick, how do you feel about liquid death? Or Nate, Patrick.
Yeah, no, I like the teas, the liquid death tea.
Okay. Liquid death tea.
Yeah.
Save the oceans. Man, that Len. I love Len, but he's a hippie. All right.
I mean, hey, look, I drink that, but I do have bendy straws in the kitchen. So, I mean.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. The bendy straws or crazy straws? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, crazy straws are the best. I mean, it takes way too much energy to get it going, but once you do, it's great. But yeah, I just have the regular old bendy straws with the blue and red and yellow stripes on it.
You guys ever use a Twizzler for a straw?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the way.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, a nice beverage with a Twizzler as a straw. Hell yeah.
You just bite off both ends and then.
Oh, you're probably using the black licorice Twizzlers too, aren't you, Curtis?
No.
Oh, all right.
I don't. I don't like black Twizzlers. No. I like black licorice in certain formats, like Good and Plenty's. Amazing. Joe Vaspolo makes a good point here. Liquid death looks a lot more suspicious when you're drinking while driving. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably not a good look.
I bring it into like every doctor's visit, and without fail, they think I'm bringing in booze or whatever, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, of course you're in here drinking liquid death."
Cookie says, "F a paper straw." That's right, Cookie. All right, let's take a look at this thing that we've got here. We got 77 people. We got 71 entries. That's pretty dang good, Jesse. That's dang near everybody.
Mike Casper, hurry up. Punch in your hashtag Wolfgang Customs, Mike.
Hashtag Wolf King Customs for a chance at a Skullman Zolocon exclusive.
That one right there.
So, oof. Yep.
Does look good in that box, doesn't it?
All right. Spinning. Come on, Mike.
In 5, 4, 3,
1,
2, and a
4,
1.
83. Hike. Wait, what do I know?
Cabin Firebeer Baker.
Oh boy.
hey,
Very nice.
hey, congrats,
Well,
man.
I'm pretty sure he won't be at Zolocon next weekend, but Elijah, if you show up to Zolocon next weekend,
Be a lot cooler if you did. All right. So does he contact Len, or is he contacting? I mean,
I would. Yeah, Cap. You contact Len. We'll get you sorted out. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
I don't know where the vat of mayo. It's in one of the hallways. I think going to the elevator. There's just this like thing. It says like vat o mayo or something like that. It's got like a plaque on it. That's what Cookie was asking. It's there. I don't know how you haven't seen it. Someone found it and sent me a picture.
I did want to pull up one comment here from Dorklair. Says, He was talking to Joe Gonzalez, says he started watching Halo this weekend after his recommendation, and he is enjoying it. I also started watching Halo. I have not really played much of the game, but I've enjoyed the series as well so far. It is very brutal, though. So just FYI, if you're it's probably not necessarily one to watch around the kids, but yeah, I mean, the first episode I was like, wow, okay.
What is that?
So,
Paramount Plus or
that is Paramount Plus, yeah. So, and they've got the second season has started, and it's got a couple episodes out so far. So, what about you guys? Anything else that you're watching right now? Any series that you're into that strikes your fancy?
On Len's recommendation, I started Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Oh yeah.
And it is beautifully drawn.
Mm-hmm. I love that show. That Trevor got us hooked on that, and the story in that, the way that they build up the characters and stuff, so good.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode. Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Which I didn't hear which show.
Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And so I told him, I was like, man, I don't want to watch this.
Very cool.
It's just a white savior show. And oh man, everything would have gone to hell if we weren't so nice to that one white guy. And he was like, don't worry, it's not that. And yeah, so I won't, no spoilers, but it is at least slightly different than that.
Dorclair says Blue-Eye Samurai is more brutal than Halo. Yeah, it's a little there too. So probably another one not to watch with the kids, but
peaches.
Yeah. So what about you, Patrick? You watching anything lately?
Like Nate, I started watching Blue-Eyed Samurai. Other than that, I watched Echo. I mostly enjoyed that. I feel like the whole premise where they were just shortening each episode the farther along you got from the beginning, while thematically it worked, it just needed a little bit more in each episode.
Gotcha.
But overall, it was enjoyable. But I think they lost out on a couple editing.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we got Jesse joining us. Hey, Jesse, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Beautiful. Okay, well, we're rounding up to the 2-hour mark. Anything else that we wanted to cover, Jesse, with these guys? Any questions that you have? I know, normally we get into more individual, but because we were talking about some Cabal stuff and Zolocon, we didn't hit a lot of that. So is there anything that you're dying to know from these two gentlemen?
Nothing I can't ask them in person next weekend.
Well, anything that we'd want to ask them for our audience?
Yeah. Nate, where can people find your work online and get in contact with you to talk about stuff?
Because I'm a dinosaur, I just joined Instagram about, 3 months ago. But you can find me at Telltale Art Customs. And please check out the work. And it's not all there. I mean, I've been busy on the Cabal for far longer. But search it on the Cabal. And if please, if you can't make it to Zolocon and you still want to enter this sketch contest, then just send me a scan of a sketch and we'll get you entered. But I would far prefer to meet and greet and have you do something live. But yeah, you can find me at Telltale Art Customs, and let's make something weird.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to his Instagram right now, the first picture that you'll see is this cat head that he did on a cosmic figure with the glowing eyes, and it's just amazing. I love that one. So
thanks. That's one of my more traditional pieces.
Yeah. And what about you, Patrick? Where can the folks find you?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram at pboyle2112, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only Patrick Boyle in the Cabal.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. And if you
So
go to his
far.
right now, he's got some shields up, and he's got this just awesome leprechaun figure with a really cool orange and green paint job. So, yeah. Ooh, man. I just saw the eyeball one that you did on the like purpler body. That's awesome.
Yeah, the
too.
Purple People Eater.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Awesome. Beautiful.
All right. Well, guys, it has been an absolute blast getting to that Cabal talk and the making customizing your own Grail figures and stuff. That was really good talk. I enjoyed that conversation. Like Curtis said, we didn't get into the personal stuff as much, but I think those topics were really good conversations.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, thanks for having us. And I mean, anything you want to know about me, it's right back there. Just
Yeah.
it's right back there.
A lot of Transformers.
Yeah.
A little more than meets the eye in that picture behind you there.
Mhm. But yes, thank you very much. This has been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna put you guys backstage. We'll close out the show. If you've got to run, that's fine. If not, hang out. We'll be right back with you after we close out the show. Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks,
everyone.
I'll see you guys on Friday.
All right. Woo.
See ya. Beautiful. Another show in the books.
Gee, you can't see the goat right now because it is as far away in my apartment as it can be from me at the moment. So I don't forget to take it with me to the con. So I will have it at the Wolf King booth if you want to watch me
Giggle in person.
turn the robotic goat on there. Man, that sounded so weird.
The
to say out
goat
loud.
isn't the show, though. The goat is just the mechanism for getting you to giggle like an idiot. That's the show.
Yes. Well, all right. There you go.
All right. And even though you're at Zolocon next week, we're not taking a week off because we don't do that. So
Why did I make a baby sad?
We are doing a show. And can you tell us who we got next week, Jesse?
Yeah, next week we have Ryan Gonzalez himself. He'll be at Zolocon with Amber. We just had Amber on with Tanya recently. So was that last week or was that 2 weeks? That was 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna have Ryan on next week. Kind of recapping Zolocon and getting to know Ryan a little better. So yeah.
Yeah, and we did tell Ryan if he finds somebody at Zolocon that he'd like to bring on with him, to feel free. So if you're interested in being a guest on Shooting the Shelf next week, cozy up next to Ryan and say, hey, give me that +1. All right. And
there you go.
who knows? Maybe you could also be on Shooting the Shelf next week.
Or, if you really want to be on here and you think you can keep a conversation up with us to
Peoples.
What do you call it? What's the word? Loquacious fellows.
Okay.
Garrulous guys. You can join us. Just shoot us a message. We've got a bit of a schedule ahead of us, but we're always looking to talk to more people. That said, I think that's it. Curtis, anything else from you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Appreciate everybody showing up. Good conversation about how to have a good time in the Cabal. Good conversation about Zolocon. So and some nice giveaways. Yeah, and we have talked. We're planning on doing more giveaways as we go forward. Even if it's just like a painted part here and there, a figure, even some unpainted parts. So we're going to try to mix that up a little bit more. We noticed, last year we had, a few shows where we gave out 30, 40 things, and then a few shows where we gave away nothing. So we're going to try to even that out a little bit more. So stay tuned. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all from us on Shooting the Shelf this week. And until next time, make sure you tune in to Wednesday One Shot with Curtis and a special guest this Wednesday, dropping at noon Eastern on Wednesday, right here on the Just Shelve It channel. And Curtis, until next time.
What's on your shelf?